The time is here. The win-loss game for the Arizona Cardinals, now that the schedule has been released. I get to play this music. We get to go through all of these games. Producer Evan, do you want to guide us through this?
Let me do it.
Okay.
Do you want me to do it like Boomer?
I mean, part of me wants to see that.
We start in New Orleans.
Okay, no, never mind. Never mind. I'm okay. I didn't know what it was going to sound like. You gave me a little preview. I'm good.
All right, we start in New Orleans with the Saints.
Collect yourself. We got 17 games to break down.
Start in New Orleans with the Saints.
This is a win. And the reason why this is a win is because it has to be a win. The first week of the season, you're going to a team that has a rookie quarterback because their other quarterback retired. They're not a good team. New coach. You're supposed to be prepared. Your defense should feast. This new pass rush should feast on the New Orleans Saints. W.
You return home to take on the Carolina Panthers.
So the Carolina Panthers have been a problem for the Arizona Cardinals a lot in their history. But first home game of the year, home field became an advantage for the Cardinals last year. They did a great job of winning home games. They'll do the same against Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. Win.
You take it up to the Bay to play the 49ers.
Yeah, they're going to lose this one. And you're going to sense a theme here that with these divisional games, I tend to want to just go, they win all the home games, they lose all the road games, just to make it even and just to, it feels better. But after winning the first two games of the season, I can already see the way this story is going to play out. Oh, the Cardinals, they're for real. They beat New Orleans, they beat Carolina. Now they're going to go and they're going to take it to a division rival, and then they get brought back to reality via Brock Purdy and the San Francisco 49ers on the road. Loss. After
a 2-1 start, you have a short week, return home to play the Seahawks on Thursday Night Football.
They win. My default in most of these cases is I go to the home team on Thursday night. Which team has to do the least amount of travel? And I know they're in the Bay Area the week prior in San Francisco. That's a short trip. They're home. Seattle. Who does Seattle play? I'll do this live. I don't know the answer to this question. Week 3, they're home against New Orleans, and then they have to travel to Arizona. So they're at least home, but that's a longer flight than the Cardinals are making from San Francisco down to back to Phoenix, back to Glendale to take on the Seahawks on Thursday. So a win, short week, home game. Give me the Cardinals. Give me the Cardinals with a win.
That's an interesting stretch. I like that going to 1-1 in that stretch. Don't know which one they'll lose. Stay at home on the mini bye week to play the Titans in Cam Ward.
So extra time to prepare. Playing a rookie quarterback at home. Give me a W.
All right.
I'm 4-1 so far, and I don't feel great about it.
Head up to Indianapolis to take on the Colts with me at quarterback.
Oh, you're playing quarterback that week. Okay. I was going to take week 5, but you can take week 6 if you'd like. This is a very bad Indy team that doesn't have a quarterback. You need to win this football game. Win.
Return home. Take the Packers on.
They lose this game. Green Bay is a good team. Green Bay is got a good quarterback. They have the coaching matchup in their favor. They have the quarterback matchup in their favor. I think they're the better football team. They played really well last year. I think they're a much improved group. They added Matthew Golden to their wide receiver core. Good offense, good quarterback, good coach. Good test for this Cardinals defense, but the Packers win a close one.
Take a breather, take a sip of water. We got the bye week.
Win.
Coming off the bye, they are at Dallas on Monday Night Football.
This is a loss. It shouldn't be, but this is a loss. This is the first true road test. At San Francisco, at Indy, at New Orleans are their previous 3 home games. This is the toughest road game that they're going to face so far. I think this Dallas team is for real. I think they have a good quarterback. They went with continuity with the coach in Brian Schottenheimer. I think it's going to be tough to go in on the road. Micah Parsons is going to be able to probably create some chaos. I'll go loss in this one. So right now, through the first 9 weeks, I am 1, 2, 3, 4. I am 5-3.
I don't know if this changes your opinion. Cowboys aren't coming off bye, and they have the Broncos the week before in Denver.
In Denver. Yeah, but it's Monday, so you get the extra day the week prior. So it's not like it's a short week Thursday night game. No, I'll stick with Dallas. But I appreciate the context.
Yep, at Seattle. The next week. You get a short week here coming from Monday Night Football.
I'm going to tell you something, and this is where the win-loss game takes on a mind of its own, because you have to project what you feel about other teams. I don't like the Seattle team at all this year. I think they beat them both times. Give me a win on the road in Seattle.
Taking the win?
Yeah.
Then you return home to play the Niners.
And you beat the 49ers at home.
And you beat the Niners at home.
That's right, you do.
Before just a week later, you take on those pesky Jacksonville Jaguars also at home.
You take on those pesky Jacksonville Jaguars at home, and you know what you also do there?
You win.
You win that one as well. How about a nice 3-game? Look at this so far. I got a 2-game winning streak, loss. 3-game winning streak, 2 losses. Now another 3-game winning streak. I have this team at 8-3 going into the gauntlet. And guess what? This kind of maps out with how I feel about this team. They've got to make a lot of ground up in these first 11 games of the season.
All right, now you're at Tampa.
You're at Tampa, and you get brought back to reality because that's a tough place to play. That's a loss. Loss.
Return home. You take on the Rams.
You take on the Rams, and you win the home game against them.
You travel down to Texas. Take on Houston at Houston.
You take on the Houston Texans. You take on C.J. Stroud, and you get handed a nice Texas-sized loss. How about that?
Return home to take on what could be an interesting storyline this year in the Falcons.
It could be. Year 2 of Michael Penix Jr. Don't know what they're going to do with Kirk Cousins. Some big investments in their pass rush. They traded up to get James Pierce in the back end of the first round. They have Bijan Robinson. They have Drake London. They have Kyle Pitts. They have a nice offense. If this is a home game for the Cardinals, I will take a W against the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. After taking on the Falcons at home, you finished this season with the last 2 games. Second to last game at Cincinnati, taking on the Bengals.
You lose to Cincinnati on the road. Joe Burrow is too much, and this offense is too much. That lines up to be a back and forth affair offensively because Cincinnati's defense isn't very good. But I'll take a loss there. I got to do some math here going into this final game.
The last game, you take on the Los Angeles Rams at SoFi Stadium for what could be a chance to go to the playoffs.
So I will tell you, going into this game, I have the Cardinals at 10-6. Doesn't that feel like this game's going to matter quite a bit? Doesn't it feel like it's setting up for this game to mean a whole lot?
Yes, it does.
For a wild card spot or to win the division. So a big game on the road in LA, Week 18 is probably going to be either nationally televised standalone game on the Saturday or a nationally televised standalone game Sunday night in Week 18. A win, and they're 11-6. They lose, they're 10-7. And I'm sorry, but this is what you get when you have the resume that Kyler Murray has, when you have the reputation that Kyler Murray has. This is a loss until you prove to me otherwise. Until you prove to me in the final 2 weeks of the season that you can go into Cincinnati and win, and in LA and win in a big spot, I'm going to give that a loss. So that puts me at 10-7 for the Arizona Cardinals in 2025. Let me guess, you have 10-7 as well.
Yeah, do you want to compare?
Sure. What games?
There's one switch we have.
You have a win in New Orleans in Week 1?
I have a win in New Orleans.
You have a win in Week 2?
Win in Week 2.
You have a loss in Week 3?
Have it.
Do you have a loss in Week 4?
No, I have the win.
Okay, so we're the same through the first 4 games.
We are the same through the bye week. I'll tell you that.
Okay, so we both have the Cardinals 5-2 going into the bye week. Feels right. Yeah.
Cowboys on Monday Night Football. That's our difference.
You have them winning that game.
I have them winning that game.
And what game do I have them winning? Which other game do you have
flipped? The very next week. I don't like them in Seattle on a short week.
You don't like them in Seattle on a short week. Okay, fair enough.
You come off the bye. I think you get the win on Monday Night Football. Then you have the short week. I have to go up to Seattle. And listen, I know you're not sold on them. And to be honest, neither am I. But that's a tough place to play.
So Michael in the chat, as we've been doing the games, is just putting W and L. So I'm trying to catch up in real time with what his record is, and this is impossible to do this math in my head. He's got them winning the first 2 games with us. He has them losing the next 2, so that's 2-2. Then he has them winning the 2 after that. That's 4-2, 4-3, 5-3, 5-4, 6-4, 7-4, 7-5, 7-6, 7-7, 8-7. He's them going 8-9. Michael has them going 8-9 in the win-loss game.
Michael,
not a fan.
Not optimistic.
Not optimistic.
Listen, you just need to steal one of these ones I think you can't win.
Well, not only
they could totally steal one in Houston.
Yes.
They had their slip-ups last year.
But not only that, I think we proved those first 6 weeks are very important.
In the first 6 weeks,
I think you have to go at least 5-1.
I think, yeah.
4-2 at the worst, I think, to set yourself up, because the back half is where I have the last 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 6 weeks of the season. I have them going 2-4. It's a tough part of the schedule.
Doesn't matter how you shape it. I need to see 5-2 by the bye.
I need to see you 5-2 by the bye. And until you prove me wrong, I don't think you win a big game in week 17 against Cincinnati. And I don't think you win a big game in week 18 against the Rams. 10-7 are official predictions for the Arizona Cardinals.
Get you in?
Does it get you in? It's a great question. I don't know if it gets you in. 10-7 would have won you the division last year.
Yeah.
So it puts you in play. But remember, I have them losing to the Rams in week 18.
Rams got off to that bad start last year.
And had to make it up late.